If I heard one more time the gates open before me, I would probably burn my computer. Hi, I'm Parabare, and I'm the writer of Project Ultron. I've been writing, publishing online on and off since 2015, mostly fanfictions. In 2019, I challenged myself to, in a month, write a story, edit it, and publish it. And I was really surprised because I actually made it. Now in 2020, I wanted to do something else, and I wanted to include other artists. One of the ideas was to turn one of my works into an audiobook. I started the YouTube channel, created a project on Daisie. It's a platform for creatives to get in touch with each other. And I started to contact people, actresses and voice actresses from Daisie, and asking them if they wanted to audition. I had a small part of this first chapter prepared, and they just had to record and send it to me. The second I heard Cara-Hope's, it was just perfect. I knew she was the person to read this part.
Hi, I'm Cara-Hope Lorraine, and I'm the voice actress of Project Ultron. My sister would always take me to the theaters growing up. She went to performing arts high school, and so I'd tag along with my sister to watch rehearsals and stuff like that. And I don't know, there was just something about it that I just immediately knew that this was what I had to do with my life. I love theater and I love voiceover to share stories and collaborate with others and to really just make a change on this earth and show what empathy is. So if you know, Maisie Williams created this app called Daisie, and what it was is for actors, directors, just anyone creating things to get on the app and collaborate and make art on an easier platform, an easier level. You can do it from anywhere. You can interact with anyone all over the world. So that's how I met Parabare and her project, and I read over the synopsis of it and I fell in love. I always loved the Avengers growing up. They're awesome. It's so beautiful, you know, the thought of superheroes and saving the world. And so when I read her synopsis and her take on it, I was like, yes, I've got to get on this project ASAP. And so I reached out to her and was like, I love this. This is awesome. What do I have to do to, you know, sort of audition? And so went through a couple of rounds of like auditions and, you know, her giving me feedback and me doing it again. And here we are with this wonderful 21 chapter project that is truly something else.
For me, it was really exciting. It was really new. I hadn't really done an audiobook or something like that, and I haven't really worked with other artists before, not in this way. So it was all really new, but it was really fun. And even with all the things that were happening in 2020, I was always excited to have another chapter to edit or to listen to and published. I think it's one of the good things that actually happened to me in 2020.
It really opened a new door for me. Voiceover project was something that I hadn't really touched yet on. I've done film work, I've done, you know, live stage theater and stuff like that, and but voiceover was not something I had tried yet, and but I had all the equipment and everything, and so it excited me from the start. Not only the story, first of all, because no matter what project you work on, you've got to believe in the story and then the writing, and that was there from the start. But I also was so eager to challenge myself on a new level. I think that it's a story that many would love to hear. It's a story full of adventure, action, hope, a little bit of struggle, because that's normal. And that's what I liked about this, is showing that, you know, not everyone's life is perfect, but that you get second chances, and there's always room for improvement or success or happy endings. And so that's really what I love, and I thought about this project.
I just need my computer. I can work anywhere. After I edit the chapter, I will send it to Cara-Hope and she will send me the first draft. I will listen to it. I needed to be careful with how she pronounces it, or if there were background noises. I would edit some things that were easy to edit using Audacity, which is a program for editing recordings, and then I would just send her some notes. She would redo some parts, and it was just like that, always getting feedback. We were always emailing each other, and once the chapter was finally done, I would just publish it. It was all really fast. I don't have a secret formula. I just had a bunch of steps of things I needed to do to get the chapter published.
Okay, so you may laugh at this, but my process for recording is me basically at midnight to 4 a.m. In my room, or whatever space I am that's the most quietest, filming these chapters, because you have to have absolute silence with high-end equipment that picks up on every single noise. There'd be times where I would be sitting there and I would have my computer make an alert in the other room and it would pick up on it, or I would move just the slightest inch and it'd make a huge noise. But I like to, before I started to dive into the chapters, I would read over the entire chapter and I'd highlight the specific lines so that, I'd make sure I was doing the right character voices for, whoever's line it was, and get all the equipment set up and go for it. I didn't really want to spend too much time on reading it beforehand as much, because I wanted it to become natural and to really feel like it was in the moment and no emotions were forced. And that's something that this project also opened up for me, was to be calm and relaxed and let the writing speak for itself. Alright, so I thought I'd do sort of a little bit of a vlog type style real quick to show you my setup. So you can see down here I have my mic, my headphones, I have my laptop set up with the chapter and then the recording that I record the voiceover on. And so yeah, this is kind of my setup, and I record in here, and yeah. Where you work in your space truly matters, so I tried to create just a really good clean space, and yeah, I love this space. This is where I spent the past 21 chapters in.
It follows the events of Avengers Age of Ultron. I want to keep the original writer's ideas there, but I like to include a new character into the universe, throw them into it with a bunch of problems and see how they react. This is what I did with Kira. She just comes out of UV and she's given this opportunity to work in Stark's industry for Tony Stark, and to help him with a new exciting project, which just goes terribly wrong. Okay, so I'm very biased on this next question, but my favorite character is Kira, because that's who I voice over. Basically, it was her point of view. It's her story, and so of course she's my favorite, because I feel like me and her are pals now. I feel like I really get her on a whole new level, and I have so much empathy for her. And I think too that she really, follows some aspects in my life that I relate to. And I love that about it. I love finding what me and my character that I'm, portraying, or, coming from their point of view, that we have in common. My favorite chapter. That's hard. I think the one that I put more work into, because everything was really new, was the first one. If I heard one more time the gates open before me, I would probably burn my computer. But it's the start, so it has a special place in my heart.
My favorite chapter? All of them, duh. No, but my favorite chapter was chapter 13 because it's probably the darkest chapter, honestly, that from my point of view in this series. You get to really get inside of Kira's head and see this painful memory that she has to relive. And so there was a very dark tunnel that I had to go down, and getting to just creep into her past and see it for myself firsthand. And there was something very raw and something that really gravitated me to chapter 13, and I loved it. I loved it so much. So the most difficult chapter, chapter 7, easy. So difficult. I think Parabare will probably relate to this as well. Chapter 7 was full of new languages that I have never even begun to touch on. And so that chapter was so challenging. I remember emailing Parabare, I was like, here's chapter 7. And she just sends an email back and she's like, okay, let me help you out here. And I was like, thank you so much. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just winging it at that point.
This chapter was, it had to do a Russian accent. And it was, we had to end up researching how to say certain words. I even had to ask some people that knew Russian. It was crazy, but it was really great.
But I loved it because I loved researching the different languages and how to speak them. And so that was really fun, and I love a challenge.
Chapter 11 was difficult because there were a lot of characters, and Cara-Hope did a different voice or a different tone for each one of them. And it was so hard to keep up with all the voices.
All these different characters, just their voices, it was kind of the first time a lot of the different people had been introduced.
There was a lot of research put into that, like watching a lot of movies, which is not really hard. They're Marvel movies, they're really great. But yeah, I think there are like 8 characters in the same chapter. It was a struggle. What I've learned, to work in a team. We were not only in different countries, we were in different time zones, and with everything that was going on, 2020 was crazy. But we were able to work as a team, and I think I really appreciate that. It makes me excited about working with other artists.
I think over this project what I've learned is consistency in voiceover work, making sure I have the characters' voices down and making sure they're consistent throughout the chapters. And I just feel like I've learned a lot. Like, it's very hard for me to pinpoint because I feel like any project I work on, I not only learn from the technical aspect, but I learn from the characters and I learn from their lives and their experiences. And this project, we worked on it for a while, like probably one of the longer projects I've worked on. So I think that was really cool to work on as well, and see what that was like, emailing back and forth and getting the files submitted and, repping the project around on social medias and stuff. So it was a lot of branding and marketing, the two of us, and I think that was truly awesome. Future projects and wishes. Further along in my career, my goal is to, get in with, bigger corporations. Like, I would love to be on a Netflix series and be in a movie and, the typical stuff. I hope to be writing too and producing myself. And I think that you can do anything in this life if you put your mind to it. And so I'm excited for the future and the things to come.
Future projects. I do have future projects. I'm not sure which ones to put out first. I'm excited to work with new artists after this experience. I really want to. It was really great. Hopefully I will be able to publish something in the near future, but I'm not sure. There are ideas. Advice for new writers. I think I'm a new writer. Like, I've been writing for a long time, but I still consider that I have a lot of room to improve. But I think one of the things that I've realized is that there's a bunch of advice on the internet that is based on someone else's style, and I think you have to practice a lot to find your own style. Don't just follow someone else's rules. There's probably a lot of books, a lot of bestsellers or classics that are breaking those rules, so why are you following them? I do recommend writing fanfics. You already have a universe that you know very well and that you can work with. So it's more like a sandbox to try new styles and try new things. Just read and practice and write and publish it and get feedback. That's the only way you're going to improve. Don't be afraid to mix it up a little bit. If I had just stuck with writing, I wouldn't have done anything of this project. Get on Daisie. You get a lot of feedback on your projects, you meet new people, there are a lot of projects which you might be interested in. It just gives you opportunities, and I think that we're all looking for them all the time.
My advice for new actors: get out there, collaborate, get on apps like Daisie, Backstage, work on anything you can, write, produce, read books, read acting books, read, fantasy books, watch movies. Acting is all about the world around you, and so anything you can do to grow your craft and to devote time on it. Go to a coffee shop, study how each different person ordering coffee, they all do it differently. So just immerse yourself in the world, because as an actor, that's what you're here to do. Believe in yourself as well. Never ever give up. It's a mindset. You can do anything you put your mind to. You can achieve anything you want in this life.
Well, I've already thanked her countless times via email and Instagram, but I want to say thanks again to Cara-Hope. She was amazing to work with. Everything that I told her to improve or to try again, or even if I told her small notes, she would just do instantly. She was great. Cara-Hope really gave her best. She was wonderful, and I think that she's only going to get better, so I really hope we can work together again. I will be really proud to see her in the screen sometime. Just keep at it, and you're amazing.
I think hands down I want to work with Parabare again, because she is so amazing, and the work and the writing and working with her was just so easy. I've never really worked with someone that just made it feel like I was friends with her at the start. I was just like, I've known this girl for forever, and we're working on this amazing project, and it was super fun. And she was always so supportive of me, because this was my first time doing this, and so support. I can't thank her enough. I'm going to add in a huge, wonderful thank you to Parabare for you believing in me and your wonderful writing that I was able to take part in along with you, and for trusting me with such amazing characters. And just thank you. You're awesome. You could conquer the world. Okay, well, I guess that was it. Thank you so much for interviewing me, and I think that moving forward there's going to be amazing things. I think Parabare is going to go amazing places. I know I'm going to go amazing places, because if you speak it out into the universe, it will come true. So I think the future is bright, and I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss this project. I'm sad. I remember recording the last chapter and I was like, oh my gosh, it's over. Everyone has to get out and listen to this if you haven't already. Support the project. It's amazing. I love it. I believe in the story and I believe in these characters. So, yeah.
Okay, so this has been the behind the scenes interview for Project Ultron. I hope you liked it and watched this far. Give a lot of support to Cara-Hope, who I thank a lot for helping me with this project. And yeah, I hope you liked it. Subscribe to get more videos like this and keep up with ongoing projects. Thank you.